President Trump vowing to support American farmers at his 10th cabinet meeting yesterday. It was the first cabinet meeting of the new year, echoing what he said in Iowa on Tuesday. Watch.
You're going to see it starting to kick in now for the farmers. And to further help our farmers recover from the really a catastrophe of the Biden years, we recently issued $12 billion in farm relief. I said, how much is the number? To our great Secretary of Agriculture, Brooke Rollins. She's doing a great job. I said, Brooke, what's the number? And she said $12 billion. And I wrote a check for $12 billion because we have so much money from the tariffs coming in. We're also working hard to expand your markets domestically. And in the campaign, I promised to support E15 all year round.
E15, he's referring to ethanol, gasoline at the end there, in his effort to boost the agricultural sector and cut costs. Joining me now is the woman herself, Agricultural Secretary Brooke Rollins is here. And Secretary, it's great to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Finally in person on set, so thank you for that.
It's a big day for me. I'm such a fan of yours, and to be here with you is really special.
Thank you for that. So what is the impact of this $12 billion aid package? Let's start there.
Well, it's so great, and it just to see the president over and over and over again make his commitment to the American farmer, the American rancher, to rural America. And you think about what the Joe Biden administration did. They gutted that part of our country. And really, our farmers, it's a national security issue. So that $12 billion was an important bridge payment. We don't call it a bailout. What we're trying to do is rebuild an entire economy. 4 years of no new trade deals, 4 years of a 40% increase in input costs for our farmers. The bankruptcy skyrocketed. We're bridging to the golden age for agriculture. All the new trade deals, the input costs coming down, really reviving rural America. And that's what he's so proud, and he's given me the just the amazing opportunity to work with him on it.
Is China finally keeping its promise to buy the soybeans?
It actually is, and I tell you what, Secretary Bassett and I are in very close touch on the soybeans, and they did. They met that 12 million metric tons, which was year one. Their promise for this year is 25 million metric tons, and we're grateful for that. But it also, Maria, we've got to open the markets around the world. We can't rely on one market, especially China. So that's why what the president's doing on tariffs and all these trade deals is so important.
And I love the way he loves the farmers.
It's amazing.
He really does. The president also announcing a major investment from agricultural manufacturing giant John Deere. Watch this.
Yeah.
It's a very special deal because John Deere is doing $70 million in factory in North Carolina. It's brand new, the best in the world. And I think it's going to pay off very, very big. It's going to be the only excavator factory. In other words, excavators. We all know I love those excavators. Believe it or not, I know a lot about them. We don't make them here. This is going to be the only excavator entirely made in the United States of America.
I'll tell you, the president has done so much with tariffs in terms of getting companies to come to America, whether it's excavating or building supply chains. What's the impact here of this investment?
Well, you think about what happened, again, under the last administration, how we basically gutted, especially rural America, how we were having to get so much of everything from overseas because of what had happened. And just this investment alone with John Deere, you know, the jobs are great, all of that's great, but to make those products in our country is better for our farmers. They're less expensive. The investment will go a long way. And again, I've been saying this the last year, but it's just so important. If we're not able to preserve rural America, if we're not able to give our farmers a trajectory to prosperity, which they have not had in a long time, we will lose America. You can't feed yourself, Maria. You lose the ability to understand what freedom really is. That's how I think existential this is. And he gets it.
He does. But also, I want to get your take on what these policies have meant for the broader economy, because you've got some important news on the recipients of the SNAP program.
Right.
And I think what you're going to tell us is really indicative of where this economy is right now.
I love it. And I love how you frame that. It's 100% right. So all of these tariffs, all of these sort of the reshoring of manufacturing, focusing on our farmers, bringing those jobs back, cutting taxes under the One Big Beautiful Bill, all of the above. What that means is a real chance that the American dream for so many and that have never had that experience before. And the American dream is not being on food stamp program, right? The American dream is not being on all these programs. That should be a hand up, not a handout. And so, yes, we were talking right before on camera. This is news. We haven't released it yet. But as of yesterday, we have moved 1.75 million people off of SNAP. 1,750,000 people that were on the food stamp program when the president was sworn in 1 year ago have now moved off. A stronger economy, higher wages. I mean, this is what we're fighting for every day. Not bigger programs, smaller programs, people to have real jobs, real health care, a real opportunity for their children and their grandchildren. And these are the numbers that make it so. It also, the opposite of that is, it's also showing you how much fraud is in these programs.
Oh, wow, yeah. Good point.
Peeling people off that shouldn't be on there to begin with, and really protecting the American taxpayer and all of it.
But they will be now able to not rely on government, but actually get into the workforce, work, make their own money, and actually provide for their families, which is what they want anyway. They don't want to depend on government programs unless you're talking about fraud.
Right. That's exactly right. The dignity of work is real. I think that is a foundational American value, that the government should not support you from birth to death. The Democrats obviously don't believe that. The more people in government, I think the more legal and illegal, the more voter base that they believe they have. And what the president has proven is exactly the opposite. You give people a shot at the American dream. You give them the opportunity to work. It's a biblical foundation. And you change everything. And that's what he's doing.
All right, we will leave it there. Secretary, great to have you.
Thank you, Maria.
Thanks so much. We'll be watching your work. Secretary Brooke Rollins here. Stay with us. We're coming to you live from Washington, and you're watching Mornings with Maria, live from the nation's capital here on Fox Business. Back in a minute.